Hello guys. So today it's just me, it's just Ames. I'm going to be talking today about my experience of how I realised my worth. So I went over to the Potter's House Church, would go to their midweek service, which was on Wednesdays back then. I'd go to their midweek service and they'd have like a lot of fellowship that they would do, like meet up in the week, have games, have food, have barbecues. And there was one guy that was actually there. He worked at Next. So he's like, oh, they've got some temp jobs going. Would you be interested in coming to work? Like getting you a form to fill out and then just working over the Christmas period. And I was like, at that point, I was just like, I so need money. So yes, I will. So yes, I started working at Next. Along with Next came all these friends, all this new face-to-face talking and getting to know people, talking to customers, customer service. Now I'd never had this kind of having to speak to customers face-to-face ever before because I'd never done it. I was quite as much as I was confident, I wasn't as confident as I was now. Now I applied for this full-time position. In my head, I remember going to work and seeing that there was new faces that were always there, literally doing full-time hours, but I thought nothing of it. I thought, yeah, I've been dedicated, I'm trying my best, I'll get there. And during this time, a lot of people that had only just come had already got full-time, or there were supervisors, or there were this, or there were that, and it was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't hate on that. I thought, well done you. I was in college anyway, so I couldn't really apply to do that. So I applied for the full-time position, went to the interview, made some notes, spoke to different people. Now, in my head, there was two positions going for full-time. There was a couple of people that were already doing full-time, so I thought, oh yeah, they're most likely going to get it. But I thought, due to the fact that you call me out of my bed to come and do shifts, you literally always asking me to come and do a shift because somebody hasn't turned up or there's nobody else to call. Due to the dedication, there used to be even family events that I'd miss to go to work, and just like, it's like, yeah, go to work, help them out. And I always used to have that help them out mentality. I remember the interview went on, come out of the interview, I was feeling good. I was like, yeah, I tried my best. And I remember going back down onto the shop floor. And when I went back down onto the shop floor, it was just like people were like, oh, how did it go? I was like, yeah, it was all right. And I remember walking away and I kind of just turned round for some reason. I turned round and it's like they had a smirk on their face, like a And I thought, wow. But I thought nothing of it. Now, I think it was like a week or a week and a half later, they called us back into the office. I'm not going to mention any names, by the way. But if any of them do watch this, I hold no grudges because I wouldn't be where I am now had that situation not happened. It's all love. But yeah, going back to the situation. So they called us back into the office to tell us who'd been successful and not. So I went into the office, I sat down, and literally they were like, you say that you do handovers ready for the next person. Now, at this point, I had actually started, it wasn't long, but I'd started to write little handovers to hand over so that the next day, the people who were on the shift in the morning could see that, oh, this has been done, that's been done. Let me just fix this. Okay. This had been done, that's been done, change this, change that, fix this, fix that. And they were like, you said that you do handovers, you don't do handovers. And I was like, okay. And they were like, you say, what else did they say? They say that you do, they said all these different things, but I think that one in particular, that comment in particular stuck in my mind because the particular person that said that was the same person that read through the handover. So I was like, okay. And they went in. And they just went in on all this stuff that I don't do, and that, not to be disheartened and whatever. Now, I never really used to be an emotional person, but I remember sitting there and I had a lump come in my throat my eyes were just, you know, when your eyes are just starting to fill up and you're thinking, you're blinking like this, thinking, don't cry, don't cry. And I was just blinking, and then literally, they were like, oh yeah, so you haven't been successful. And I was like, okay. And I turned around and I was walking out the door, and literally as I got to the door, I burst into the biggest tears. That was one of the most emotional times ever. Even talking about it makes me relive that moment, and it wasn't a very nice moment. And I literally burst into tears. I went to the toilet, I burst into tears. And then it was like, I've just been told this news, and now I have to go back down and serve customers and be happy and all, jolly and whatever. I remember there was a girl that she was really wanted a full-time job, and they were only giving her part-time hours too. And she came to me the one day and she was like, Amy, I'm leaving. Amy, I'm leaving. I was like, what? You're leaving? I was like, what am I meant to do? And she was like, yeah, I'm leaving. I found a new job, told me the job that she got and where she was going to be working. And she was like, yeah, you should apply. Now, this was the Friday. Like, I love talking about this because it's so exciting. So this was a Friday, and was it the Wednesday? I think it was the Wednesday. It was the Wednesday, and I was thinking, yeah, I'll apply. So I got home, and it was an agency, so you had to go through the agency first to work for them. So I thought, went on the agency website, and I thought, no harm in trying. I went on there the Wednesday night, and I was just like, I set up my profile, typed in my details and everything, and then it had for you to upload your CV. Now, at this point, on Wednesday night, I was thinking, I'm not too sure. I'm not going to do it. So it came to the Friday now, and I think I was at work the Thursday and the Friday, and it came to the Friday, and I can't remember what it was, but there was just this feeling. There was this feeling in me, and I was just like, I don't want to do this job anymore. I don't want to be in this environment anymore. Not the fact that it was the people or anything, but it's like this job just isn't feeding my, what's the word I'm looking for? It isn't feeding my appetite for wanting more. Yeah, we'll say that. It isn't feeding my appetite for wanting more. So, sorry guys. What I did is I got home that Friday and I uploaded my CV and I sent it. Now, bearing in mind, this was the Friday. I can't remember the date, but it was February. This was the Friday in February. Uploaded the CV, sent it all over. And I thought to myself, I ain't going to hear back from you anyway, but I've applied. Now, I had 2 weeks off work, 2 weeks holiday. And I remember so that was the Friday. I got a call on the Tuesday. And I got the call and I was thinking, it was the agency calling, and I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, hello. They was like, hello, is that Amy speaking? And I was like, oh, yeah, it is. So they were like, oh, you start your job on what day was it? You start your job next week, Monday. So you just need to come and sign the papers, and then we'll give you all the information. Now, at this point, I was like that on the phone. They were like, hello, are you there? I was like, yeah, I'm here. I was like, what do you mean I start next week, Monday? I was like, so I've got the job. They were like, yeah, you've got the job, you start next week, Monday. And then I was like, oh, but I'm on 2 weeks holiday from work, so I don't think I can start. They were like, oh, okay, then never mind. We'll contact you when we've got something else. Bye. Phone down. And then I sat there and I thought for about 10 minutes, and I thought, don't matter about being off for this 2 weeks. I'm getting back in contact with them to say, I want it. Yes, I want it. I'm taking it. And then I'm going to Next. I'm handing him a notice, and that's it. So then I called the woman back. She was like, hi. I was like, yeah, it's Amy. I'll take the job. Yes, that's fine. I'll be able to sort it out. Blah, 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 blah. They were like, okay, start next week, Monday. We'll email you the information. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So at this point, I was sat there and I was just like, oh my gosh, I did the application, uploaded my CV, thinking nothing was going to happen, nobody was going to call me. And I got the call 2 days later telling me that I started the following Monday. And I was just like, wow. And at that point, I was just like, oh my God, I need to call people, I need to get it all. And I had to sit down and actually write handing in my notice. And as I was writing it, like my hand was doing this, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm actually doing it, yes! Because I'd reached the point where I was going to work and I was just feeling drained. I was feeling unappreciated. I just felt like I was somebody that they could call when somebody didn't turn up, or somebody that they could call any time at any point in the day, and that they'd know would 100% come in and do that shift no matter what, because they needed the hours, or they needed the money. And I really didn't feel comfortable with that, because it felt like somebody, like I was on a string and somebody was controlling my movements, like, yep, go there, go there, go there. And for me, that's not something